Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Taurus placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Taurus, I've been feeling your energy since I did the Aries reading. Excuse me. Like, as soon as I did the Aries reading, it was like I was just hearing like Taurus, 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 like really strongly. So that Aries reading might have a message in there for you. I'm also getting, because we are currently in a Venus retrograde in Aries, and Venus is your ruler, that there may be sort of that Aries influence coming through in your space at the moment. We're also in a Mercury in Aries, and it will be going retrograde on the 15th of March. So that's also an energy coming through for you, but I'm feeling more strongly like the Venus retrograde is more being highlighted for you at this time. I did a collective reading at the beginning of the week, which may have a message in there for you. I'm getting very strongly that that energy is relevant, especially for Taurus. So you may want to watch that as well. Okay, Taurus, as I was sitting here getting ready for your reading, the energy that I was feeling for you was like the first two chakras. It could also be three chakras, like root and sacral, were really being highlighted. There could be something going on with that energy. It could be manifesting as like physical pain in that area, like especially like in like the lower back kind of energy, like. But the root chakra and the sacral chakra are really being highlighted. There could be something about like your stability that's changing or that's going through some sort of shift. It could also be affecting sort of like your creations or something like that. The reason why this Venus energy is important is because in that collective reading, I was talking about like sort of like I was seeing like almost like a split happening. And from the split, there was like a unicorn's horn being like emerging from that sort of canyon is how it's coming through. That seems like an intense word, but there could be something like that happening for you where maybe you're going through some sort of energy here with like the root and the sacral chakra, where maybe there's sort of like something happening, because what I'm seeing here is the fault line card in this deck, like a crack, metaphorically or not, I don't know, something happening there where it's like it's wanting to make space for something new, but the process in which that's happening is uncomfortable or painful. That's how it's feeling, Taurus. So I'm sorry if you're going through that. There's also something coming through with that as sort of like a guidance or something that may be helpful for you at this time, especially if you're going through something difficult, is to repeat the mantra or the affirmation that everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. You may not be seeing that yet, but it was coming through really strongly for your reading today. Everything is always working out for you, Taurus. So we're going to pull cards. Again, there's a very strong Aries energy coming through. So perhaps whatever it is that you're moving through right now might be requiring a bit of action on your part, Taurus. Like you're having to like do a lot of things. I also am getting, though, like a very strong Libra and Cancer energy, because Aries is your neighbor. So there may be sort of like a blind spot or something like that coming through for you. But Libra and Cancer, which is Libra's opposite to Aries, Cancer is a square to both those energies. That might be helpful. Like maybe there's some sort of like Libra Cancer energy that's sort of like supportive of you, whereas the Aries is a bit of a challenge, is how it's coming through for you, Taurus. Okay. I'm going to pull a Starcodes Astro Oracle. I do feel like Libra and Cancer energies are supportive of you at this time. So there could be something about home and stability and relationships that are very supportive. While maybe there's something happening in terms of, okay, interesting. You have the South Node past coming out. Okay. Because we're in a Venus retrograde, maybe there is something from the past coming back around. This describes what you bring along from your past lives. This situation has its roots in some past karmic pattern, the origins of which are not clear. You either need to apply skills that you were born with or look again at old problems and work to heal them. The situation feels hauntingly familiar, but without a story to go with it, echoing traces from another time or life. An old love or familiar enemy may return, or the patterns involved could remind you of an earlier difficult chapter. If someone triggers your South Node, you may feel like you owe them, or they owe you, and while that may be true, this accounting won't help now. Cleanly deal with what is on the table and stay in the present moment. So the challenge here is, under stress, you may fall back on familiar defenses and relive what you've always lived. PTSD, flashbacks, and addictive habits or relationships all operate around your South Node. The gift of this card is use the opportunity to heal triggers and patterns from the past, take them as teaching moments and learn. Then your hard-earned skills and wisdom can help you build your future. Very interesting, Taurus. You're working with the South Node, the past. So I'm getting a lot with that. So there may be sort of like past life energies coming back around. It could, but it feels kind of like past life soulmates or past life skills or gifts that are being awakened or reawakened. Especially paying attention to like people that you feel like you've known for a long time, even if they're new, right? That it's like they feel familiar. They may be a past life soulmate. It doesn't have to be a good or bad thing, Taurus. It's just something that's happening. Especially with the Venus energy in relationships, and resources as well. But anyways, as I was reading that description, I was seeing the turtle card. I was getting like this turtle energy from this deck, but specifically the shell. There's so much there. So there is, especially the challenge of this card was talking about like patterns, right, that we fall into when we feel stressed about something. So maybe there's something here where it's like maybe there's a situation that's sort of challenging in that it may be reawakening some past wounds or something like that, or it's like your instinct or your pattern of behavior might be to like retract or go back into your shell. But what I'm actually seeing here instead of that, Taurus, is kind of like your shell is there to protect you, right? But it is also something where it's like it needs to be cleaned regularly. Like the shell is a part of the turtle's like body. They can feel their shell, right? They can feel like stimulus on their shell, which is interesting. I don't know where that's coming through or like why that's coming through. Anyways. And you have Leo at the bottom of the deck, Shine. I'm going to pull cards from the animal or... Okay, no, we're going to go elementals first and then we'll go to animals. The turtle card in this animal deck also talks about narratives and stories, right? Like it's a storyteller energy. It's also a joint energy between water and earth. Yeah, lots of water. You have richness, marine life, and the outer core, fluidity. Very interesting. So you have 33, 32, and 12 coming in. Can I get one more card? North, expansion. So you have south and north node. So, okay, so there may be a Scorpio influence coming in just because of all this water that's coming through. You have beginnings east at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So I'm feeling this fluidity outer core is a Venus energy. So the Venus retrograde feels like a very significant time for you, which is going to be for the next couple of months. I think sometime in April it's going to be going direct again. So from now until April might be a very significant time. You're working with a lot of water. I feel like there's something here, the marine life richness card sometimes talks to me about the subconscious. That's what this card looks to me like, but the subconscious is illuminated. So it's like, it's a very positive energy where it's like you can see everything that's in your subconscious. I feel like you are sort of navigating a watery energy at the moment, Taurus. There could be past life energies coming up to the surface, because that's how this is looking to me, like something perhaps from the past or memories from the past are coming up to the surface and perhaps having an effect on like your physical material world, or perhaps how you express, or I just keep seeing a shell, like a tortoise shell. I don't know what that is though. It may be something where it's like hold on, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna quickly do a search. Because it won't, I can't like move past that for whatever reason. Okay, so Mother Earth. The patterns on the shell carry profound teachings about the natural cycles that guide our lives. In many teachings, the turtle represents wisdom, longevity, and balance. Okay. Anyways, you may want to look that up on your own time. But what I was getting with that is I feel like, Taurus, you're focused right now on sort of like a long-term longevity kind of energy, like something that's going to be long-term. But at the same time, I feel like there's almost this energy coming through where it almost feels like you want to move really quickly on something. Like I'm almost feeling like a Knight of Pentacles versus a Knight of Wands. Like there's that kind of dynamic that you're balancing. Because it's like, and again, there's that Aries-Taurus dynamic where Aries is very fast moving, wants to create change, wants to act, wants to do, can be very impulsive in a shadow energy, or reckless or rash, right? Shadow aspects of Aries, versus Taurus, which could be very slow moving relative to Aries, or more steady, right? Like, so there may be something coming through here for you where there's like, so maybe you, I don't know, maybe this is two different aspects of self, especially if you have fire somewhere else in your chart or Aries somewhere else in your chart. It could also be something where it's like if you, maybe you are dealing with someone with Aries or just the Aries energy in general, where it's like there's something that's very fast moving or very impulsive or rash, and you're sort of like a steady, slow and steady, gradual change, that kind of thing, that maybe you're balancing. But it kind of feels like there's something here, Taurus, where like there's a situation or something that's very fast moving or very fiery, but it's almost like you're trying to like temper that or like resist being pulled into that, is how it's kind of feeling to me. And it may be something where it's kind of like you pull back into your shell. because of some sort of fiery situation. And so it could be comfort again. It could, because the shell to me is representing this place of comfort and home and retreating and rest and protection and safety. But it's like you can still feel what's on the outside, right? Like you can still feel what the shell is feeling, if that makes sense. So even if you're protected and safe, it's kind of like there may be something in the environment that feels almost like a 5 of Wands. Like it's like, the word I was getting was prickly, like a cactus. Like it's prickly, or like, I don't know. That's how it was feeling. Maybe you're feeling very sensitive to touch at the moment, like, or like, yeah. It's kind of feeling like your body, like your physical body is going through some sort of like uncomfortable, like prickly touch or sensation is how it's feeling, especially with the root chakra. Okay. Very interesting, Taurus. The nightingale. Yeah. This to me represents the throat chakra, but also connection to the heart as well. I feel like this is almost looking like the nightingale that's sitting on the tortoise's shell. That's how it's going through, which is really interesting. Fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. This card indicates a need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, let it out. Yeah. When in balance, sings, speak freely with kindness. When out of balance, shy or lump in the throat, to bring into balance music. I associate music with Taurus energy a lot as well. But okay. So maybe there is something that you need to say, Taurus, or something that you need to express or let out, like get something to get off your chest is how it's feeling. Which is interesting because I am now seeing this as being like there's a nightingale sitting on your shell, Taurus. It's okay, interesting. This is taking a very interesting turn because it almost feels like, Taurus, there's maybe something here where maybe you are retreating into your shell, right? Because maybe there's like a past life energy that's affecting how you're experiencing this. Like maybe there's something where it's like, maybe there's like a past life soulmate coming back around. As just an example, it doesn't have to be that exactly. It's just the easiest way I can describe it. There's like a past life soulmate coming back around. Perhaps they're a new person in this lifetime, but they feel familiar to you. It's like this nightingale is coming to sit on your shell. But because you don't know what it is, or because you don't know like why this is happening, it's a past life energy, there's no memory associated with this thing, it's almost like surprising, and so you pull back into your shell. It's like, what is this? Trying to figure it out, like, why am I feeling this way? What is this nightingale? Like, which is so interesting because the nightingale itself as a bird is a very like simple and plain bird, right? Very, very sort of like easily missed, but their song is unmistakable, right? That's how it's coming through, Taurus. So interesting. I feel like there's something where it's like, there's a like significant past life energy coming back around, and when you encounter it, it's almost like it doesn't appear to be anything like, it's not flashy, it's not like in your face, it's a nightingale, But then when it starts singing, metaphorically, it's like, oh, this is so familiar to me. That's how it's coming through. Yeah. Interesting. I do feel that there's something here of like, I feel like this, it feels positive. However, because of the South Node energy, that it may trigger sort of patterns or past karmic energies, or like feeling triggered by something. So just being conscious of that. But it's almost coming through because you do have the expansion north, that this past life energy, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a person or a soulmate. It could be like a skill that you have, a past memory, whatever it is, where it's like this past life energy is being awakened so that you can take this new gift into the future with the north energy, the expansion. It's coming through as like a integration of the past. Significant Venus energy. The golden egg, which is the heart chakra in this deck. I love this card. There's something like that I feel like you're protecting, Taurus, and it could be your own heart, especially because this energy with the shell, right? It's like, I feel like there's something here where it's like, maybe it's getting you to retreat back into your shell or into certain patterns that are comfortable to you, which is fine. But the golden egg also talks about, let's read it. The message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga or meditation. Yeah, when the mind begins to settle. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Taurus. Okay, there's so much coming in there. I feel like this is something of like a past life soulmate that's coming back around, like an old friend that you have not seen for a very long time. But it's almost like this is somebody that like is new in your life. I'm almost feeling emotional with this now. Something that you've been missing, but you didn't know that you were missing it until this person comes into your life. But there's also something here at Taurus about like, yeah, it feels like an old friend. It makes your heart swell and sing. I feel like there's also something here about like, regardless of what your shell looks like, this friend or this person can see directly into your heart. That's how it's going through. That's why it's feeling so emotional, because it's like they can see directly into your heart. That it doesn't matter what it is that, like, it doesn't matter if you're in your shell, they can see you. So there may be this feeling of vulnerability that comes through with this. Getting emotional, Taurus. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more card for you. Thank you for your patience, Taurus. I almost didn't do the reading today because anyways, I was gonna put it till Monday, but then I was getting information for you and I was like, Taurus has waited long enough. Okay, can I get one more card for Taurus? Unicorn. Okay. I feel like Taurus, because I was getting that energy of the bottom three chakras, right? The root, the sacral, and perhaps also the solar plexus, there's something going on there that's uncomfortable. I don't know what it is for you. It's going to be specific to each of you. It could have to do with home and family, belonging, your creations, your stability, your like your physical body could be going through something. But it's almost like what you're getting here is you have the throat chakra, sort of like informally the throat chakra, the heart, and the third eye that are coming online to help you with this. Because it's almost like there's something like here, the third eye, with the unicorn's horn sort of emerging, but it's almost like a top-down kind of energy where it's like if you're going through something sort of difficult in like your physical manifestations or something like that, there's an energy that's coming from above, metaphorically, like that's coming down to help with that situation is how it's coming through. Because I'm now getting something like an overwhelm with this marine life richness card, like something that's perhaps overwhelming emotionally. And it like there's an energy here that's coming to help with that. I feel like especially with these two cards, the unicorn and the north expansion, there's something of like a vision that's coming through. Like a new vision, or especially with North Node, it's like something where it's like you were meant to complete this in this lifetime, or this is something that you were meant to learn in this lifetime, or something like that. Otter at the bottom of the deck. I love, love, love this card for you, Taurus, because this is a card about reconnecting to joy. It does feel kind of like a reconnection of some sort. In whatever way, it doesn't have to be romantic either. Like this card is coming, like it's any kind of relationship. I am feeling very strongly that it's like friendship or an old friend in whatever way that is. Yeah, unobstructed joy, playfulness, and contentment. It's joy and absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and reverence for life itself without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism. Yeah, celebration awaits. Okay, Taurus. It's really lovely. I feel like there is a very significant soulmate energy that sees directly into your heart and then almost like pulls you out of your shell is how it's coming through, so that you can go towards this expansion energy. So I feel like this is the sort of perhaps outcome or direction that you're headed in, is sort of like this new vision with the third eye, a dream that you have. The unicorn can come through as being with like something where it's like there's magic and something that maybe feels impossible, but that it's becoming possible. It's like a destiny that's written in the stars for you, Taurus. That's how it's coming through. Okay. I'm going to pull one card from the Archetypes. The Queen. Okay, interesting. But it's coming out like this, underneath the golden egg. I'm going to read that one. I feel like there's something healing for you around a queen energy. This feels like healing something. The Empress, the Mother Queen, the Sovereign. Okay, like her counterpart, the King, the Queen has a dualistic nature. Either she presides over the realm with grace and eloquence that comes from the heavens to uplift the spirits of others, or she falls into petty, contemptuous moods, casting a shadow across the land. If the King is the ego, the Queen is the expression of that ego in the world. She is the lotus's bloom, the dancer's bow, the moon's radiant reflection. When the queen is seated in her rightful and righteous place, she is patient and forgiving. She waits for the grace of God and Goddess to move through her, striving and grasping for nothing. To be the benevolent leader, to embody the queen, is to settle into deep trust, resolve, and power. The royal queen fears nothing, for divinity itself cradles her heart. When light, the embodiment of grace, courage, resolve, and stillness. When dark, vain, wrathful, self-righteous, and demanding. Okay, the queen does not accept the hand of a prince, but claims the throne. Knowing the king draws near, she is a magnet for the fully embodied masculine and entertains nothing else. Okay, there's a lot coming through with that, because this is, okay, the Empress, right? The Empress card in this deck would be the queen, but, of course, the Empress is ruled by Venus. So there's a very significant Venus energy that you're working with, and like all planets, Venus has sort of like the dualistic of pleasure and pain. And I feel like right now, Taurus, you may be in sort of like a pain energy with that feeling that I was getting, like something painful that you're perhaps dealing with, but it's like this energy is coming through as like the pleasure aspect to balance that. Peace is what's coming through. Yeah. It does feel kind of like reconnecting to joy. The gem at the bottom of the deck. I love this card. The gem. I feel like there's something about like the ears, like listening, sounds, voice, music, that's very significant for you. Like that's sort of like the sense maybe that is being highlighted as like it brings happiness and joy or something like that. Okay. Can I get one card from the Animal Apothecary to close this for Taurus? Better than you can imagine. There was a Libra reading that I will link above because I feel like Libra energy is very supportive of you at this time, Taurus, with the Venus connection. There's a Libra reading that I will link above that had this card in it. So I'm not going to read the description for this card because I read it in that description, in that other reading. But just to summarize, this card talks about like before a dragonfly is born, there's no way for the dragonfly to know how magnificent it is. And it's almost like that's how it's coming through here, because the dragonfly egg starts off in the water, because it kind of feels like there's something here where it's like you're moving from water into air. Taurus, like something about your life is like something where it's like there's overwhelm or it's very emotional, is almost like being brought out or being birthed or born into this air or lightness is how it's coming through. The dragonfly might be a significant symbol for you, but that's also talking about the mind, right? Like, I feel like there's some clarity coming through regarding a situation that's been very overwhelming emotionally. And I feel like you're working with like your feminine energy at the moment. Healing a feminine energy as well. And moving towards some sort of destined purpose is how it's coming through. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.